I was trying to do one of those things where you pretend like you've done your introduction at a different time, or I just can't really come to face that.
Did you
Arsenal.
even mention Champions League? I've forgotten.
I said Champions League draft.
I wasn't listening.
It was literally the majority of the intro, Dan. Thanks for listening. That's terrible.
I was just trying to sort my camera out.
So, hand up. It's been a busy day for me for Sunday. I said to the boys, so I am up to date with the football, but I did not watch Arsenal versus Manchester United. So, can someone give me a non-biased recap?
I think both teams will be happy. Arsenal played well. They were the better team for probably 2/3 of the game, maybe half of the game. But then Man United went 2-1 up on a counter-attack, sort of against the run of play. And then Arteta hit the massive panic button, subbed off every defensive player for an attacking player, and then just lost the game from there, really. Like, it was, yeah, United could have had quite a few more had their final pass been a bit better in the last sort of 15. So it was a strange one because Arsenal played well, but then it was like at 2-1 down, Arteta just panicked, did that old thing of thinking, well, if I have 6 forward players and then sub on a couple more and have no defensive players, we'll attack better. But actually all they ended up doing was getting in each other's way and being vulnerable to counter-attacks.
Gary Neville said it quite well. When the sub happened at 2-1, he said they're either going to lose 5-1 or they're going to win 3-2. There's no in between. And then literally United scored a third, and then he was like, okay, it'll be 5-1.
What about that match then? Do you think the more of the reality of the situation is Man United, I don't know, on the up, or are they a good side? Is Arsenal not as good as the results they've been having?
I think Arsenal were really good. Like, as Mark's, I mean, other than the first 10 minutes, Man United were amazing. And I was like, wow, where's this Man United been? This is impressive. They're holding the ball. They were like, I think it was like 80% possession, United, making a few chances. And then Arsenal took over. And then from about the 10-minute mark, probably to about the hour mark, it was basically all Arsenal. Like, he could have scored God knows how many. It was completely dominant. Completely dominated the midfield, kind of what Mark had said before the game, where Xhaka was just running the midfield, which when that happens, you've always got to be worried. But United were playing on the break, scored a good goal with Anthony, completely against the run of play, to be honest, but did. Arsenal got one back. Arsenal did have a goal disallowed in the first half for a very, very soft foul, which was unfortunate for them, but we all know what VAR's like at the moment. And then, the second half, literally Arsenal were so dominant until it was like that 2-1 happened, and then they all panicked. Literally all of them, like, heads down, it's all over. Let's just go all out of time. It's really weird because if they just carried on doing what they're doing, they probably would have scored again and again, like, so dominant. So it's a bit of a weird one. I think a bit of a immature performance in the end from Arsenal. But as you said, they'll be happy in that they played really well, dominated at Old Trafford. But I think United United's got a really good team.
Rashford looks good, which is good for England as well. Because at the moment you'd say
Ivan Toney. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was going to say Ivan Toney's got that number 2 slot at the minute. But
am I right in thinking that both of you had Brentford going down?
Yes.
Maybe.
I did.
I
know Dan definitely did. But Mark, Mark, you didn't write anything down, was it? That was right?
What, this season?
When we did our predictions, because Brentford, I mean, it's weird looking at the Man United side, Man United team at that time, losing 4-0. It didn't seem, it obviously was a massive result for Brentford and a bad result for Man United, but it was kind of like Man United weren't really that good at the time, but then, I don't know, they seem to be kind of banging them in, and I don't know if they can stop.
I think Man United have a weakness that Arsenal didn't play to it. They tried a little bit, but you saw Gabriel Jesus, just how dominant he was bringing the ball down from long balls. And Man United played 2 teams first game of the season, which were happy just to play long balls up to the big striker. And I think, from Man United, I don't think that weakness is gone. I think we've just played teams that are almost not willing to sacrifice their style for the result. Like, Arsenal's best chances in the first half were, one was a clearance, literally from a Man United corner. He just lumped it 60 yards or something, and Gabriel Jesus just dominated the ball in the air. And Brentford, are happy to change their style depending on who they play. So if they think playing on the ground will be better, they'll play that way. If they think, oh, we'll just go route one and we'll just muscle this team, they'll do that. Yeah, it was a interesting one seeing them.
I think the classic is going to be when United play Fulham, Mitrovic is going to destroy them.
Mhm.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
Of United, and that's the worry. They'll go and beat like Arsenal happily, and they'll probably beat Man City at some point this season. Obviously, beaten Liverpool already, but they'll go and play at Fulham. Even Crystal Palace next week. I'm probably going to really struggle against Crystal Palace next week. This type of football they'll play, the stuff. Vieira will just be lumping balls up to Edouard. You'll have Zaha running off him. I'll just be catastrophic. Martinez probably going to get a red card. I think they're going to really struggle with teams like that. I think people will figure them out.
Against the teams that they should be competing against.
Yeah, whereas teams that will keep the ball where they can play on the counter attack, who aren't going to try and dominate their centre backs, they'll be fine. But, I mean, Eriksen was the man of the match. Right? Eriksen was playing basically as a defensive midfielder and was man of the match. Tells you everything you need to know.
Do you think Brendan Rodgers must be the next man to go, isn't it?
There's rumours he's trying to get himself sacked.
Like if Scott Parker goes, if Scott Parker, Fulham, I was going to say Fulham, Bournemouth, how is it that Brendan Rodgers can still have a job?
A slightly different situation. One, Bournemouth, Scott Parker, after what he said, it was less about his results. It was more about his attitude and the things he'd said. They kind of lost them, but also Mark drinking wine, nice.
I pasta for dinner, so you know.
Nice. But Rodgers has obviously been there a while. He had a couple of amazing seasons. He's done an amazing job he had done. Obviously, they're falling apart, and the whole thing this summer has been really bizarre about Leicester. There's something going on. There's something very weird going on behind the scenes. They're just selling all their players, not buying anyone new.
Yeah, you do worry. Where's that money going, isn't it? It's just...
Well, exactly. Why like 80 million or whatever it is now on Fafana, and all the other players that they've sold this summer, who have they bought? No one. Literally no one.
I haven't got it to hand, but their net spend over the last few years can't be that.
Nah,
that bad. They got 80 million for Maguire, so
they've been selling well. They're not like in a FFP problem like Everton.
No, which is strange.
Do you think Vardy still has value? Like, is he good anymore?
He's just he doesn't live the lifestyle to age well, does he? Like Red Bulls.
When you're smoking after games,
it can only get you so far, isn't it? It's like I don't think he was ever going to be in it for the long haul, but. He nearly got the equaliser. Was it Chelsea the other week where he rounded Mendy? He's still got something about him, but you wouldn't want to be relying on him week in, week out now.
No, I agree.
I just want to ask one more question then before we go to the Champions League draft. Have you watched much of Isak?
Yeah,
his debut.
What do you reckon?
I mean, I liked him. I think for Sweden in the Euros, he was very good. I liked him at Sociedad. Last season, he didn't have a great season. He was a bit slow, but the season before that, he was clinical, like really clinical. And Zlatan came out, 3-4 years ago and said, this guy's my replacement. This guy's going to take the Swedish team to the next level. And then everyone was like, okay, who is this guy? And 60 million is a big risk. It's a large amount, but you can see, I don't know if you saw the highlights of the Newcastle game. It was a clinical finish in his debut. He really should have scored. Like he was clean through. He really should have scored. And another day he would. And then you'd be talking about 2-2. What a success.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking with that second chance. It kind of looks like that might be him. That type of attitude where he's just going to be a bit too relaxed. Maybe try and get a bit silly or a bit fancy with certain things because he really should have just knocked it around the goalkeeper. Just he had either side to go and he decided to just get close enough to try and chip it over him. But is he going to be the type where...
6 goals last year.
He
only got 6 goals last year for Sociedad. Admittedly, they were struggling and they lost a lot of their creative players. They lost Odegaard, they lost a few others. So they weren't in a great place. But
he looks like he's got a bit of quality to him. It's just how consistent is he going to be? That's what I think will be the...
Yeah, the question for me is he a 15 goal a season? Is it like Callum Wilson will get you 15 goals, but he'll only play 20 games? Will Isak also get you 15 goals? Because then you've got 30 goals strikers and then you can be up there.
Champions League draft, or you want to do anything else Premier League wise?
No, I thought it was going to be a Champions League special.
It is a Champions League special, you're right, Dan, because we realised this morning that it was Champions League this week, so we spent all afternoon studying. That's how professional
we're talking
we
about the
are.
Women's Champions League, right?
Yeah, that's funny. What was that? Yeah, I was saying.
The round two draw was today.
I feel like 2 people today have said to me, like, oh, I was watching football the afternoon, and I was, yeah, man, the women did really great, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even realise.
Yeah, it was more. It was more
how rude,
women's football this week.
They were like, yeah, the winning the Euros will grow the viewership. It's like, oh shit, we fucked up already.
Yeah.
Well, I can't believe you're not talking about the fact that Arsenal drew Ajax in the round 2 draw of the Champions League.
Of what?
Of the Women's Champions League. Arsenal drawn Ajax.
They were robbed. The referee man just robbed them.
No, they haven't played them yet.
Oh, the referee's gonna rob them, man.
Yeah.
Terrible, fucking hell. He's crooked. So the Champions League draft basically is, for those that haven't listened before, which is probably no one. We pick there's 4 pots. We pick 4 teams each for the Champions League, and we're basically going to score points for each match based on winning, losing, scoring, conceding. There's lots of points to be had. The best thing about this game is that there's lots of points. I know you all
get points if your team go into the Europa League and win that.
No, I think you might get minus points. Yeah. Do you know what that should be? If your team goes into the Europa League, every success they have means minus points. Every time they win, that's minus 100.
Oh, no, that's
imagine
that.
Yeah, they'll probably knock Man United out, and it'd be doubly bad.
So basically, I've put them into pots, and then we have to pick 1 team from each pot. Correct?
Yeah, and the pots are based on the actual real life pots, right?
I didn't pick the pots. Sorry, I wrote them down.
Oh, good.
We didn't finish last season's Champions League draft, so we don't know who goes first, second, or third. So
I'm pretty sure I had Real Madrid. Just saying.
That's fine, but you didn't, because I did. I picked them at the beginning of the season.
Did you?
No, I didn't. It was Bayern Munich. So I've just got a random number generator between 1 and 3. So Danny, do you want to pick a number?
3.
And what, Mark, do you want to pick a number that isn't between 1 and 2?
That is it. What?
No, pick a number that's between 1 and 2.
2.
I'm tired today. You can tell. You said 2. Danny's got 3. Mark's got 2. I've got 1. So I'm going to press this generator, and whoever number goes first, they go first. Second, first. Yeah. Right. This ain't a lie. I swear to God, it's 1.
Oh,
it's
convenient.
1.
It's the 1.
It's 1. I swear to God. I knew this was going to happen.
Why aren't you sharing your screen and doing this live?
Yeah, swear
That's
to
fine.
God.
You go first. That's
Go on.
All right.
When you go first. Who's going second?
2 come up. So yeah, Mark is going second.
So it's a
Danny
snake draft.
is going third.
I've got
snake draft. Definitely a snake draft. Yeah. Right. Oh, this is big time. Big time. Should I list out the pots, or does that make sense?
Yeah. I've got them in front of me.
Yeah, but just for the listeners. So in pot 1, we've got Frankfurt, Real Madrid, AC Milan, Man City, PSG, Bayern Munich, Porto, and Ajax. In pot 2, you've got Liverpool, Chelsea, Barcelona, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, Sevilla, RB Leipzig, Tottenham Hotspurs. Pot 3, Borussia Dortmund, Salzburg, Shakhtar Donetsk, Inter Milan, Napoli, Benfica, Sporting Lisbon, Bayer Leverkusen. And in pot 4, Rangers, Dynamo Zagreb, Victoria Pleasant, Marseille, Maccabi Haifa. Is that right? FC Copenhagen, Club Brugge, and Celtic. So we can pick from any pot 1 to 4. Interesting. This is a big deal for me right now. I think.
Do you not have a number 1 pick in your head?
I do, but now I'm questioning.
I don't think there's a single one. I don't think it's that.
Yeah, number one pick, 1-1. It's going to be Manchester City.
Big.
Okay.
Erling Haaland's season.
Yeah, that wasn't. Yeah, it's tough because I think there's 3 teams that could win it. So
yeah, look, I'm not saying it's for definite, but I don't know. with Haaland, it's kind of like hopefully he's going to put them over the edge. Their group's not the worst group at all. They should.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's about as easy a group for a top pick you're going to get, right? They're in the same group as Sevilla, Dortmund, and Copenhagen.
They were absolutely my number one pick.
Yeah,
they were going to be my number one pick.
Yeah, it's hard to not pick them, right?
Yeah.
Mark, do you want to go next?
Well, I think there's two teams that haven't got across the line. City being one, and PSG being the other. And it feels like one of those two are going to win it this year. But
wasn't one of your predictions at the start of the season that PSG were going to win the Champions League?
Yeah, well, it's because I wanted to say I think Inter Milan will have a good run.
Yeah, you also said they were going to be in the final. Yeah, some weird prediction about PSG playing Inter Milan in the final.
So my first pick is going to be from pot 3. I'm going Inter Milan.
That is insane. They've got Barcelona and Bayern Munich. That is insane. Love it.
Inter Milan, nice. I'm very happy with that. Very happy with that pick right there.
Yeah, they weren't even on my list.
Because I've got 2 in pot 1.
They weren't on my list either.
Yeah. I've got 2 in pot 1 I'm considering, and I don't know which one to pick. So now Danny will pick one of them. So I'll go with the other.
No, I don't think that. Can I just say this, Dan? I don't think you're going to pick from pot 1.
I'm close. I can't decide. I might. Yeah. I might.
Well, you've got 2 picks. I mean, this one you got, so it all depends.
Yeah. So I am going to. I'm going to leave pot 3 actually. I think because there's a number of teams in there that I'd be all right with getting. So don't really mind now which one Chris picks because there's 2 or 3 others I'm happy to get. So I think I'm going to leave pot 3. So I get 2 picks. Pot 4 is a difficult one.
Yeah, I know. Pot 4 is tough.
Pot 4 is a killer.
That's your random 4.0 defender that you're not sure is going to play.
But there's only 2 teams that I think stand any chance in that pot. So I think I'm going to have to pick one from that pot. And then the question is, do I go 2 or 1? Knowing that Mark is thinking PSG or one of the others, I guess I've got to go pot 2 really because. Well, do I want to?
Come on, that? Dan, man, you wrote this shit down early. Right. Come
on. Yeah, but I've got a few options. I didn't think I was going to go 3rd and have 2 picks. Right, I'm going to go for pot 4, and I'm going to go for Club Brugge.
Wow. Do you know what? Right, I feel like I've picked Club Brugge for the last 2 seasons, and they just do me nothing. So
get hammered 6-0.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. They had. I think that they have one season like a few years ago in the Champions League where they just had a great time in their group, scoring a bunch of goals, and it's like I feel like it's still in our head that they have the potential to do that.
Yeah, look, they've got a tough group in Leverkusen, Porto, and Madrid, but
it's also open, isn't it?
Open. All pot 4.
Yeah, and their first couple of games, they're not playing Madrid, so I'm like. Maybe I get rid of them in week 3, or maybe they get an easy game if Madrid rest players. I don't know. So
what I didn't say is that we get to switch teams out after each round. So some teams got to go in it. So yeah.
Yeah. I to be honest,
not to criticise much from pot 4.
Yeah. All right.
What's your next pick?
So I'm really, really torn, but I think I'm going to have to pick them because they're just too good, and I'm going to go for Real Madrid in pot 1.
Yeah.
Oh. That wasn't
it's Real Madrid and it's the Champions League. You're guaranteed to go through and they've got an easy group.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
I would have had, I think there's 2 teams that are left I'd put above them.
What, PSG and Bayern? I think PSG, will get through fine. But I fancied Real Madrid for the whole.
I feel like Danny's picking the long game with that pick.
Yeah, and then Bayern.
If it's free, someone else is going to pick it up.
Bayern, I don't like. I don't know what I like. They're playing Barca against Lewandowski. Barca are in ridiculous form at the moment, and Bayern aren't. So that's not a good time to play them. Obviously, they'll get through the group, but I just don't fancy them as much this year. And Real Madrid, I think, could win it. So that's my pick.
Is second the hardest to pick in this snake draft? I feel like Mark might be kind of fucked here.
I'm just trying to think. So I've picked from pot 3.
Yeah.
So I've got pot 4 left.
You got to pick 1 and 2 left.
So one I've got 3 shots. I don't have to worry about my one.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about 1 yet.
problem is, I in pot 4 I lean towards Celtic, but their opening week is Real Madrid, so this purely playing the short term like fixtures. I feel like Celtic's a bad bet.
Yeah.
But then playing them first means I don't play them again till much later in the group stage. So I'm going to go from pot 4 and I'm going to pick Celtic.
That's crazy. Oh my
Yes,
god.
you're picking some bizarre things.
Wow. It really gives no fucks. I feel like Mark's
Who's the obvious choice from pot 4 that I've missed?
Yours are so obscure that it's like, I don't know if I'm doing this right.
Marseille and Zagreb are surely the two.
Marseille was the one I'm between.
Marseille's in a tough group. That's what's kind of
They are.
That's what's put me off.
But the thing with Marseille's group that I really like about, actually, Marseille's group is one of my favorite groups of the 4, because I think each of those 4 teams will have really competitive games against all of them. I think that's going to be such a tight group because any 4 of them can beat each other. I think
it's kind of a shame Frankfurt's in pot 1 almost. Like,
yeah, I mean, Frankfurt will struggle because they've lost their best player. They're not playing, they're not doing that well this year. They will struggle a bit, but they're still good enough that they'll give Tottenham and Sporting and Marseille a game. So I think that's a really exciting group, that one. That will go close to the wire. That'll go to game 6, definitely.
So traditionally, Real Madrid are slow starters and Celtic are strong at home. So
that's true.
That's
true. I like me against you first week. We'll see. You've called some bangers already this season, so let's see.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath.
so no one's picked out of pot 2 left. So for me, logic dictates that I should probably go for that. I just cannot believe I feel like you guys are trolling me here, because all of my picks are coming here that I picked earlier. All my 1-1s are coming. This one for my second pick is going to be from pot 2, and it's going to be Barcelona.
Oh, that was my pick as well. That was the one. I couldn't decide between Barcelona and Real Madrid, and I fancied Madrid.
Yeah, but the problem is, Dan, what you didn't realize is that I still had to pick from pot 2. I didn't need to pick from pot 1. You did not need to pick it.
Yeah, but I actually thought Mark would take Madrid. That's what I thought. So I wanted it in case.
I'm glad Mark's not very good.
I didn't realize Mark was having a funny evening. And
did you not think Barcelona would get taken? I feel that's a bigger pick. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
Barcelona's first game is against Victoria Pleasant. That's worth the cost of admission alone.
It probably is. They'll probably win 5-0.
Yeah,
and they've got Lewandowski. Fuck. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I don't know how Inter Milan is. Are they supposed to be quite good at the moment? Because otherwise, that's a group of death.
They are good. Yeah, Inter Milan are good. They'll be.
Is that like the group of death? Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Inter.
Without doubt, that's the hardest group, without doubt. Yeah.
So then my next pick. Oh my god, I just feel like I have to win it this season. Surely, I've got to pick from pot 3 and pot 4. I don't need to pick from pot 4 now. I'm going to go for my number 1 pick in pot 3, and that was Benfica.
Yeah, that's another good. They were on my list as well. Probably not my number 1, but they were on my list.
The only reason I think they were on my number 1, let me just check again if my memory serves me correct.
They've got Juve and PSG in that group.
It was purely fixture based. They were against Maccabi Haifa.
Haifa, yeah.
So I was happy. I was thinking I'm happy to change them because there seems to be a few group teams in pot 3 I wouldn't mind having at some point. Depending on fixture. So I'm like,
that's a fair point.
Pot 1 and 2, you kind of pick and plan, and maybe to have them till the very end. Hopefully you pick the favourite, and then pot 3 and 4 is more interchangeable. So that was kind of my rationale. This has gone about as perfect for me as possible. I don't know what this means because
I'm laughing. I'm looking at Chris going, he's got City, Barcelona, and Benfica. And Mark's got Inter Milan and Celtic.
Yeah, but I've started with pot 3, pot 4.
Yeah, all right. Who are you going next, Mark?
Yeah,
well, I'm going pot 2, and I'm caught between the 2 English teams. Well, there's 3 in there. 3.
That's probably why, because there's 3 of them.
I'm not including Chelsea in it.
Ooh.
I feel like recency bias is leaning me towards Tottenham, and Klopp's struggling, and he's got a 7th season syndrome where he never does well in his 7th season at a club. So recency bias, it's ridiculous. Liverpool are the 3rd favourites to win the trophy, and I'm leaning towards Tottenham, which is
a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, it is when I talk out loud.
Do you think like seeing the Premier League and how it starts kind of swaying you a bit?
I mean, I thought Tottenham are going to be good anyway because they've got a good team, good manager. Conte's decent. Like Tottenham are a strong outfit this season, and Liverpool look weak the moment they're missing one player. So the problem is I'm gonna leave it to Danny to pick. So I'm gonna go with my pot one, and I'm gonna go PSG.
PSG is off the
so
board.
weird that you did that.
Because he doesn't want to make the choice, so you got to make the
I
choice.
know, I get that.
Which is bizarre.
Fair enough. Well, I'm not going to make your life any easier, Mark, I don't think, because
you're going to go Atletico or someone.
Yeah, I wasn't going to pick Liverpool either. So I get to pick my third and fourth, right?
You do indeed. You've still got pot 2 and pot 3 to pick.
Cool. Well, in pot 3, nice easy. I'm going to go for Shakhtar Donetsk.
Is that easy? Why?
Because similar reasons for you. They're playing Leipzig, who are in horrible form. I can't pick Napoli because they're playing Liverpool the first week, and they were my other pick. So of that group, I think Sporting Lisbon have got their first 2 fixtures are tough. So, and Dortmund, I don't like the season at all. So that's why. And Leverkusen are horrific. They're probably the worst team at the moment. So there's not a huge amount of options. But Shakhtar is a short-term investment. I'll probably be changing them for Napoli in a few weeks. And then that leaves me
if
with
they're
pot
still
2.
available.
Yeah, true. In pot 2, I'm not going to go for Spurs. I'm not going to go for Liverpool. I am actually going to go for Chelsea.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, the team I wrote off.
Yeah, I'm going
Wow,
Chelsea.
Wow, you two.
Again, I'm looking at the groups. I'm looking at the fixtures. Their first 2, they're playing Salzburg and Zagreb. I think. I know they've got their problems.
Fixtures on your crap teams, but the better teams you are going to hold.
Look, I think Chelsea.
I feel like you're happy to get rid of at least 3 teams on your side, like during this whole season.
No, look. Well, obviously, Club Brugge are Club Brugge, right? Who cares? Real Madrid, I think, could win it. I think Chelsea can go far because whatever you say about Tuchel and all the problems he's having, they've just signed Aubameyang, they've just signed Fofana, they finally actually got some structure. Ben Chilwell's back. Now they're playing Reece James at right wing back again. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be back to the Chelsea.
But the thing is, making that pick, you're kind of telling me that you think Chelsea's better than Tottenham.
I do think. I think Chelsea will finish above Tottenham in the league this year. Yeah.
Sorry, could someone talk while I'm coughing, please?
I don't know if that's shocking news or what, but I think Chelsea have a better team.
I think. Well, I don't know. I thought it was general consensus that Spurs were a better side than Chelsea.
No, I think Spurs have a good squad, but I don't think they have man for man a better team.
Well, Aubameyang is quite a boost for Chelsea if they can get him firing. The guy
he was banging him in for Barcelona, and he will do it again. You know what he's like when he's loved and when he's the man, he scores goals, and then when he goes on a strop, he doesn't. He'll get a good season out of him. I think they'll be fine. Now look at their group, and I think, look, Spurs. The one thing with me with Conte is he's never ever done well in Europe ever. He's a great manager, but he's just never done well in Europe. I don't know why. Some managers don't do well. So that was for me why in a group where anyone could beat anyone, I just don't like that risk. So for me, Chelsea, I think will get through.
Mark, Danny probably hasn't helped you out with his pick, but he's certainly given you some advice there. So what's your pick?
Well, it's I think this is tough. I actually think Liverpool will struggle to get out of their group. The problem is, I think once they get out of the group, they might by February be back in form and flying.
You think Liverpool? You think Ajax and Napoli or Rangers have a better chance of beating Liverpool?
I don't think Rangers and Celtic playing any English team is going to be tough. I think there's that England-Scotland rivalry. And then
at theirs, at Ibrox, that'll be a tough game.
Yeah, they'll probably win it, but I don't think it's easy. Well, I look at Tottenham's group, and I think Tottenham stand a good chance of winning that group.
Pick one.
Yeah, all right. Do you know what?
Do it.
I'm
Pick
doing
'em.
it. I'm going Tottenham Hotspur. I'm doing it.
So
I'm picking
Spursy.
them.
So
So
Spursy.
Spursy. Do you know what? I actually I think I'm with you because Spurs was my second pick out of that out of pot two, if I'm being honest. Probably the way that Liverpool look at the moment is
Yeah,
adding
there's
to
a
that kind of
recency
judgment call.
bias
It's
on
kind of
this,
it's hard. And if they get all their players back, obviously they're going to show a bit of depth. I just think in the biggest moments on the biggest stage, that's where they'll realize they miss Mane. I think he's the type of player that probably would have brought them to a different level. We don't know yet if some of his replacements, either Nunes or Diaz or, I don't know if Coutinho's going to, whoever is going to be big enough to fill those boots. And that's probably what would have made me go for Tottenham Hotspur. So that's the only pick I approve of yours.
Not even PSG. Ultimately, look, PSG, Man City, and Real Madrid are 3 pot 1 picks. I think have all got the best chance of getting in towards the final. Like, that's the reality.
I've just got one last pick, pot 4. My number 1 pick again. No, actually, Club Brugge would have been. So I've got pick number 2. I'm just going to go for Marseille.
It's a safe pick.
Yeah, if I was to divulge as to why I'd pick it in any great detail, please call bullshit because I clearly know nothing. Yeah, it's just one of those ones, isn't it?
Well, they're going to batter Tottenham, that's why.
Hopefully.
So Mark's got a game against you with Marseille first week and a game against me with Celtic. Fun.
Yeah, I mean, it should be good. So who if you were to, without sort of picking the groups and stuff, who would you have as your number 1 favourite for Champions League then, really?
Well, honestly, Man City, for me. I think this finally is their year.
PSG or Man City for me.
Haaland is it's just deadly. He's just too dangerous. You can't stop him.
I think that about Mbappe. I think Mbappe is the best player in the world. Like
it's Mbappe and Haaland for me are just they're like 1 and 2 almost. I don't know if Haaland's quite there. He looks like he's as good as anyone that's ever lived. So
he is, yeah.
I've seen
1A,
Haaland,
1B.
Haaland's ridiculous, but he is a little bit Van Nistelrooy. Like he's quiet,
Shearerish.
He has 8 touches a game on average. He touches the ball 8 times a game, but he scores 3, so it doesn't matter.
No, but I just think in the Champions League, I think Mbappe is just coming into. I don't know. Every time I watch him, I think he's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
The biggest problem.
I think that about Haaland. Like when I look at them both, I'm like, I can't remember the last time I ever looked at 2 players at that early an age being like, man, fuck, they're so good. I mean, this might be blasphemy, I'm sorry, but it's kind of reminiscent of they might be the new Ronaldo and Messi type argument, isn't it? With them 2 being the best players for the next decade or so.
Yeah, they did say if Haaland scores 44 goals a year until he's 36, he'll equal Ronaldo's goal tally.
That can't be true.
That could be true. But first of all, what's he like 19, 20? Second of all, he'll score 60 or 70 goals a season. Like if Lewandowski's scoring 60 a season, Messi was doing it. Haaland will probably do it too in this City team. So
the only thing that Mbappe has really over Haaland is that he's young. Like he's only 17 and a half years old. Like, he's got ages to really mature into a good player.
The thing with Mbappe is Neymar and Messi don't seem like they like him.
Yeah, he's an arsehole. He's an arsehole. Yeah.
Is Mbappe an arsehole? He seems like a nice guy.
No, he's an arsehole because he's playing with, as you said, he's playing with Messi, the greatest ever, and he's playing with Neymar, who thinks he's the greatest ever. Those 3 will not work. And the reality is that if PSG are forced to pick, it's going to be very, very difficult. I think Mbappe will be the first to walk out of there, because of his ego. And I think he could really hurt him because if he stayed at PSG, he could easily score.
Is he like a known piece of shit or something?
No, I think
he just runs the club, I think.
Yeah, and he's been riled up with them because he doesn't get to take penalties, which obviously pisses him off because he wants all the goals. I read something ridiculous, like he's never taken a free kick in his career. Like it's just and you could tell someone like him would probably want to, but it's just not in the ranking.
But surely a club wouldn't be so much to piss their best player off that they wouldn't just let him take a couple free kicks.
Depends. Like you look at it, and if you said, I mean, Neymar has started the season ridiculously. Like he's like on Firmino style for them, like scoring 3 and getting 4 assists every game kind of performance. So Neymar's back to his best. You've got Messi actually doing shit and him back to looking decent. and then Mbappe's just on the third wheel, basically picking up scraps, still scoring lots of goals. But I just can't see that going well. I really can't see that front three ending well. Something's got to give.
There you go. I guess all we have left is front three, back four.
Okay.
Sure. Well, yeah.
Do you want to do your random number generator? So you should go first.
Yeah, I'll do that. So, shall I stick with number one?
Yeah. Do that. Yeah.
No, let me change to number
Surely
three.
it can't be that again. It can't be one.
No, well, it's unlike. I'll stay with number one. All right, let me pick it. Do you know what? I swear to God, if you saw this, it's so unlikely, but it's gone number one again.
Oh, well, it is what it is.
So sorry to disappoint you there. But I'll go first, I guess. Do you know what, Danny? I know you're going to be a bit disappointed here, but in my back four, you're probably pouring one out. In my back four is Boris Johnson.
Yeah.
I know you're gutted. Yeah, your hero's gone. You know,
guy's an arsehole.
I mean, that wasn't what you were saying earlier, but okay.
He's after Martin Lewis's job as the money-saving expert now, isn't he?
Is that right? Is that right?
After giving everyone sound money advice last week about kettles.
Yeah.
Did you see it? His speech?
No.
Said if you've got a kettle that takes a while to boil and it costs £20 to replace it, you can save £10 a year from a new kettle.
Oh.
And then clearly halfway through he realised, what? And he was like, every year you own that kettle, you save £10. It was just
no idea. But the reign of Boris Johnson is over. I guess it was supposed to be our version of Trump, maybe to a degree. An experience we lived through, for many people, disappointing. It's probably going to be Liz Truss. Not that I follow politics a lot. It's probably going to be Liz Truss. I don't really know what that means.
She's the favourite.
Yeah, she's the favourite. A good article came out where Rishi Sunak was on Politico. Shout out to Emilio. Put out a good article last week around. I feel like Rishi Sunak would just went balls to the wall and being like, I was always against these lockdown rules and blah, 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 and really putting Boris Johnson in. I think he went ham trying to get a last bit of support. Who knows? It's probably going to be Liz. Don't really care. We're all fucked, innit?
So what? Sorry, why is Boris in your back?
Because he leaves tomorrow.
Because he's leaving.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, all right, fair enough.
Boris will
so you want him to stay, is what you're saying, and you're gutted that he's leaving?
No, I was just trying to be sympathetic to you, Dan. That's all.
Okay.
As a Jewish person, he's very good for people like you.
Yeah, they love the Conservatives.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
They don't.
Yeah. Well, it's no better at Labour, really, is it? But in my front three this week is the NFL. It is back.
Yes,
Let's go. I love all sports. NFL is one of them. My Cowboys don't look like they're going to be that great this season, unfortunately. But the thing I love about NFL year in, year out is that it's one of the sports that you just don't know who's going to be champion. But it's very exciting. Say goodbye to my Sunday evenings. I'm probably not going to try and do gigs then now just because of that and just enjoy my weekend. But I love the NFL. Can't wait to watch it. Hard Knocks is great. My favorite to win is probably going to be. Do you know? I'd love the Bills. I'd love the Bills.
I was about to say that Bills would be my pick.
Yeah, I'd love the Bills to win. I think they've got a really good shot because they just got Von Miller as well in defense. They look like a team that's stacked on both sides. But really, it's anyone's game. Like, Pat Mahomes is always going to do Pat Mahomes type stuff. Green Bay's supposed to be good. Some people think like Philadelphia for some reason is going to go to the Super Bowl. I don't know what the fuck that's about. Really? Yeah, they are getting ticked by a lot of people. The Eagles, yeah, no idea why. But NFL is on its way.
It's a bit like everyone had like Turkey to do really well in the World Cup. It's like everyone's wild card pick.
I think that was
no substance.
Universally the worst pick I've ever seen because we obviously we all read the same stuff in it.
We all did it.
Saying they were great. They were like unbeaten for 3 years. They just battered France. So like, well, they're going to do great, and they just got battered.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe the bookies put out a narrative like that just to get bare money or something.
Well, that's probably what's happening with the Eagles.
Yeah, who knows, man? But there you go. So that's my front three, back four. Glad I went first.
Very good. Yeah.
What are the chances?
I know, right? Shall I go
Do
next?
you know what? Yeah, you go next because you're quite sad about being last in the draft.
Thanks. Cool. So in my front three this week is the Swansea ball boy. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, I know. I
Do
saw
you
this.
remember the Swansea ball boy that Eden Hazard kicked many years ago? The legend that
Yeah,
that stopped the game. This guy was obviously a genius from the get go as a kid.
I think we called him something else at the time, not
We
a
did.
genius, but it was.
Turns out
You could tell
the
he
guy
was.
turns
a
out the guy
genius.
wasn't just forward thinking on a football pitch. He's just been named on the Times' Young Rich list, and he is a seriously uber successful businessman. He's basically started a drinks company, and I think he's worth something like 40 million quid at the moment. I think he
How
was
old is he?
24,
24 maybe.
Yeah,
I think he was 17 when he was a ball boy. And this was in 2013, so 9 years ago. So it's 26, I guess. I don't know. You'll all remember that Hazard stuck the boot in. He got famous. Anyway, turns out he's now got this proper high-end luxury like vodka and drinks. He's got people like Floyd Mayweather and others who are big fans of his product. And yeah, he's worth over 40 million quid, and he's just been named on the Times' rich list. So fair play to that Swansea ball boy.
Yeah, it's an AU vodka, and it's
Really?
I find it strange because it's like gold
Yeah, it's a gold bottle
covered, but it's so tacky.
Really?
But for some reason, it like
it's so perfect for these bling celebs.
He reminds me of like this friend of mine, really successful businessman, like earned millions, storing rabbit's feet, man. Like some guys have all the luck. I wrote that one today.
He disappeared.
Sorry, I enjoyed that one. That got me. I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then it clicked.
There you go. Nice.
Very good. Very good.
Back four?
Yeah, in my back four this week is it's an American energy company called Excel. Have you heard of them?
No.
Spreadsheet company.
So they're an energy company in America. The concept of my back four this week is state control, but Excel in America have started the problem. So there is a story in the news this week. This is actually genuinely true. I'm starting to can't quite believe this is happening. But basically this energy company, which has, I think it has 30, 40,000 users of their new like smart thermometer temperature thing in the house. They decided last week that because it was a big heat wave, so everyone was putting on air conditioning in their house, but there was an energy crisis and they were struggling with power. So they basically locked everyone that had this smart meter. They locked them all so they could not go below a certain temperature. So every single household, like tens of thousands of people, was stuck without not being able to put aircon in their house because the energy company said, "We're really sorry, we've had to control the amount of energy consumption, so you can't use your air conditioning in your house." So they've taken full control of the temperature of people's houses thanks to these smart meters that they gave out, going, "Oh yeah, have these are really good." They've now got total control, and these guys were screwed. So they locked their house temperature to something like 24, 25 degrees. It wasn't allowed to go below that. So all these people were complaining, like, "My house is boiling. It's fucking boiling outside." And the energy company were like, "Yeah, we're really sorry. You shouldn't have got the smart meter. We're going to do what we want to do." And they did that for nearly a week. Can you believe that? Imagine.
Where's this?
In America.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine an energy company is deciding whether you can and can't put your own heating on or your own aircon on? It's insane.
That's the way the world's going, isn't it?
It's absolutely insane. It cannot be allowed. It is ridiculous. And this whole state control problem is a problem. Don't get smart meters. I'm telling you, they're going to destroy you.
Did you get one in your new place?
No, actually, we haven't. I have got Nest, so Google can do what they want to my house.
Okay. No, I do. I don't know how I feel about that. Like,
warm.
Yeah, that's it.
I just
under the collar.
I don't know. Imagine it just makes me think of like all the other smart technologies and stuff that, people have smart fridges, smart doorbells, smart all this, security cameras, locks. Before you know it, people are like, oh, well, it's a national lockdown because there's a thing. So we've locked you in your house. That, think about the level of control this is. It's really, really scary. So
this is what a lot of people think, like a lot of smart people think we're headed to, because people freely give up their freedoms. I always think they want more control from other people, and there's going to be a certain type of person that's going to be happy it's happening to a degree because they'll just lie about it being good for the climate, but really it's just locking you up.
Anyway,
let's get our tinfoil hats on.
Slippery slope, but my back four is basically anything that's state controlled because that's a worry.
Deary me.
All right, on mine then. So back four, I'll start with. So my back four this week is Elon Musk. Seen he's trying to pull out of the Twitter deal. So
I thought that already happened.
That was weeks ago. Yeah.
Well, this has been on my. Well, it was on for when we did the pod last time, but he's not. He's not actually
like a
pulled
month
out.
ago.
He's trying to pull out of it. It's still not. He's still not out of it. But I just find it. Funny because it just clearly proves that Twitter is just hardly any people. It's just purely bots. Like he's gone in. He's been told that there's all these influencers, users, like he's obviously got his plan, what he wants to do with people's data. Once he's got past the bit where he could buy it, he's realized actually Twitter don't have as many human beings using it as they like to make out. So
I genuinely feel like lately there's been a change because I quite like Twitter. When you curate it to not like piss you off, it can be quite useful, but I don't know what has happened lately, but I feel like it is just a piece of shit.
I think
all the comments are just
for a little while. Yeah,
I don't know what. Yeah, but like the comments has just become crazily shit. You can clearly tell it's all bots.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like it was always there, but now for me it seems like it's gone to another level.
It's why like somewhere like Instagram just never invested in comment sections. They have you can comment on stuff on Instagram, but it's so basic. Like like you comment, people can't even see what you've commented. It's because I think they just didn't even bother fighting the bots. They were like, we'll give them a comment section so they can if they want.
It's just about pictures anyway, ain't about words.
But yeah, I do like. I've noticed, as you said, I hardly use Twitter anymore now. The only time I do is if it's a breaking news story I want to find out. So if transfers is a great time to try and use Twitter because it's a good time because you want to know it first. You don't necessarily want to be 100% accurate. You just want to know is there some noise in that area. But
or if you want to watch porn,
but
like without really making it obvious, isn't it? Because it just appears, isn't it?
What, Twitter?
Twitter's got bear porn.
Really?
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
Right. Honestly,
have you never? Oh my god, no.
Porn on your Twitter feed. It's so customized.
I don't have it on my feed, but sometimes Israel Adesanya just likes some random porn star, and you're like, and then you get down a real rabbit hole of just porn stars on Twitter.
The time I saw
all of a sudden you're in your toilet at work, you know.
Yeah. The time I saw a lot of porn on Twitter is I use this download bot. So like if you see a funny video on Twitter.
So you're the problem. You and your bots.
You add download bot and it sends you the video so you can download it because sometimes I send stuff into the WhatsApp chat.
Oh, is that how you get the videos? I always wondered.
Yeah. I have no idea.
I prefer that than sending the link.
Absolutely, I would too.
Yeah.
That's great.
So so I use that sometimes. But seeing when you go on the download bot's Twitter page and you go tweets and replies, you see what people are trying to download from Twitter. Is there's some real suspect videos out there.
Oh really? I've never. What's it called? Download bot.
There's loads of them. Yeah, download bots.
And you can see people what they download because there's some fucked up shit on Twitter.
So if there's a video on Twitter, you just at download bot, and then it will send you the video, so you can just save it to your phone.
Oh shit! Don't do that. You got a front three, Mark?
Front three, is entrepreneurs. So this is
Elon Musk.
Yeah, this is a couple of weeks old, but Billie Eilish had a concert the other week. I don't know if any of you saw, but
I had it recorded as well. I've watched it all.
Youngest ever headliner at Glastonbury, so she's in the history books. But someone was selling some memorabilia from the concert. They were selling air. They said they had bagged air from the moment she was screaming, so could certify that this air contained some of her vocals, and sold it for $15,000.
Do you know what, right? Do you know what? Whoever bought that, they deserve it. Standard.
Yeah.
I just don't know. They do.
Yeah.
Fuck you, idiot.
Yeah. So
That's amazing.
Insert puns about. I just think it's a load of hot air, but this I actually looked. This isn't the first time this has happened.
A bad joke.
Yeah. But this isn't the first.
Yeah,
time
this guy knows bad jokes.
Yeah, it's a couple years ago. Someone did it at an Adele concert. I've not found out if it's the same person. Maybe this person just does it everywhere. But unfortunately, Adele's air only went for $1,500. So was it even worth the effort? I'd say. But then about 8 years ago, someone did it at a Kanye West concert. So they actually went for $60,000.
This can't be true. Where are you getting this from? What are you talking about?
Twitter. Is this a Twitter bot?
Stop it.
So actually, eBay had to shut down for the Kanye West one. eBay had to shut down some accounts who couldn't verify the air came from the concert. And there were some rumors that the person. There's rumors that the £60,000 sale on the Kanye West one might have been Kanye West himself, because Kim Kardashian was then tweeting afterwards saying, "Look, we can sell anything," and I think it might have been a quite good PR. So it wouldn't surprise me if it was one of them who actually bought it.
Just remind me, how were they collecting the air again?
So they get to the front of a concert, they get a little sandwich bag, and then they just seal it.
Wow, incredible.
You're worried about state-controlled smart meters,
and people are out here selling bags of air.
People are buying air. For
I think we've got bigger issues on our hand here as a civilization.
You know what? Maybe we need state control. Maybe people need to be locked in their houses and told what temperature to have it.
I mean, look, to be fair, ain't crazy. It's like some people buy people's farts, so.
But I wonder who was the one who was buying it and then complained to eBay that I don't think this is real.
Legit.
I've had a look. This doesn't look like the air that I would expect from a Kanye West.
I smelt it and it doesn't smell like. I can't hear any singing. Yeah.
It would have to be like the real stupid son of a millionaire.
Oh,
there's some crazy people in the world.
That's my front three. I just wish I thought of it first. So.
That's kind of made me sad.
Why?
Because it's like we've just got no hope, have we?
Really?
Like
we've been fucked for years.
Yeah, people going out there expecting more of people. Do you know what I mean? They go out expecting more of us. People shouldn't do this. They shouldn't do that. Fuck, don't expect anything from anyone. They're spending bare money on bags of air. Shit. And my mum complains that when I go and get some fast food, but I'm about to go get some chicken wings. Go fuck that. Oh my goodness. Well, there you go.
All right.
Right. So that was good. Thank you very much. I am tired. Like I said, I'm about to go get some food. We will see you in a couple weeks' time.
Hopefully.
Yeah. What's our next big thing that we do in the season?
The World Cup.
Oh, we haven't done results.
World Cup at Christmas.
We haven't done the results league, by the way.
Yeah. Next on our World Cup preview.
All right. See you at the World Cup.
All right. See you then. Merry Christmas. Bye.
Yeah.